Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bears take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Snap comes at 1. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Finding Harris over the middle. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trade in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And some room to work. Gets past one man. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Here's Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Juwan Jennings, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are on the board first here this afternoon. Point after here coming up. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
Here's the score. Bears 7. Cowboys nothing.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Brady. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play here for Dallas. 61 yards. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Brady. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. On play action, Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Brady. And that will be incomplete.
Wow, this is searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 45.
Play action. Now Rodgers. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Rodgers going to throw. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Here's Rodgers to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Patrick. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Now a first down carry for Harris. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Harris. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Damian Harris, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Point after, right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Bears 14, Cowboys 3.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll send a receiver in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Brady to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
46-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week, what did he do wrong, and another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. This defense trying to do its part. Active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's got room. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown from 17 yards out. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Bears 21, Cowboys 3.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Brady now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Yeah, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting.
This is intercepted.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
Touchdown, Chicago! Damian Harris, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team is.
And Brady going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Rodgers now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Harris running straight ahead.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there, that defense able to hold firm. backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Finding room at midfield. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
On first down, Brady. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Bears are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Hey, take 26!
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they work this out past the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down.
The partner still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Rodgers to throw once more. That's caught by Waller out left side. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jennings. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A quick throw by Brady complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now on 2nd and 16, Brady. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Brady. Escaping the pressure right. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And now here is another interception. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Cowboys take over first and 10.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point, where we're at in the fourth quarter, with how wide this advantage is for this offense.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Talk about two sides of the ball cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
To try again after the sack. Brady, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because As you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at about the 28. 54 yards on the punt, 12 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, have a game, sir, why don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game, and this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get his 2nd sack earlier.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Oh, he's got a little dip. There he goes, left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Keon Crossan.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and